Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Lost Ark Explained. Today we'll be diving into advanced honing as your character heads into tier 4. I'll be covering what exactly advanced honing does, breaking down the costs in both tier 3 and tier 4, when you should do advanced honing, and finally, my suggestions. You likely know that advanced honing provides 20 item levels. However, what is less obvious is that the stats you gain from advanced honing is a flat amount, equivalent to normal honing from 1620 to 1640. The reason this matters is that normal honing stats continue to scale up the higher you hone. Here are the stats of two helmets that have the same item level. One has level 20 advanced honing and the other has none. As you can see, the stats are all slightly reduced on the one using advanced honing. This is due to the stats gained from 1650 to 1670 being higher than those gained from 1620 to 1640. Here is another example, this time using 1680 weapons. The weapon without advanced honing has an extra 3,167 weapon power. So this difference should be considered when you are deciding between normal honing and advanced honing. If the cost is somewhat similar, you are better off doing normal honing. Here are the data sources I use to get the cost breakdowns. Maxroll is typically my go-to, but at the time of recording this video, it did not have tier 4 costs yet. So for those I use IcePing. I use the optimal materials option for both. The tier 4 costs have an item called Breath, which is the tier 4 equivalent of Solars. Note that IcePing does not include the tempering costs, so you'll need to add those in, which I did for all the costs I show in this video. Here's the complete breakdown of costs for advanced honing from 1 to 20 for all armors and weapon. As you can see, the gold is roughly the same, but the tier 4 material cost hovers at around 50 to 75% of the tier 3 material cost. In either case, you can see that the cost is very high, especially in fusions, with tier 3 taking over 13,000 and tier 4 over 10,000. The question is, how does this compare to normal honing in tier 4? Here we see the costs of tier 4 advanced honing compared to tier 4 normal honing. Up to plus 16, which is 1670, advanced honing is worse in nearly every way. Once you do reach 1670, 1 to 10 advanced honing does have an advantage in that it takes less shards, but the cost of fusions is dramatically higher. If you're in a rush and willing to spend more gold, this could be a good spot to do 1 to 10 advanced honing. However, 11 to 20 advanced honing is still worse in all ways. In most cases, I would suggest waiting until plus 19, which is 1685, before starting advanced honing in tier 4. This is when the base honing chance goes all the way down to 1.5%, which makes normal honing increase dramatically in cost, and advanced honing is now much cheaper. Advanced honing costs, especially in terms of gold and fusion materials, is very high. In a lot of cases, it's better to skip it entirely. If you are attempting to rush a certain item level in tier 4, and are willing to spend extra gold to do so, and have extra tier 3 shards, then tier 3 advanced honing, especially 1 to 10, is a good option. All progress on advanced honing carries over into tier 4, including tempering, so temper all your gear with tier 3 shards. This will save you on tier 4 shards down the road. If you have a lot of bound materials, especially fusions and solars, I would use those up in tier 3 advanced honing before transferring. If you want a bit of extra time, you can leave 1 or 2 pieces in tier 3 and continue with tier 3 advanced honing. However, I would only do this if it doesn't delay you reaching the next tier 4 chaos dungeon. On release, we will have a 1640 and 1660 chaos dungeon available. If you want me to continue with this series, help me out by subscribing. Thank you.